Welcome to the February 15th episode of Beacon Web News. I'm Savanna Amaral. The North Adams Movieplex closed its doors for good on January 3rd. The closure comes on the tails of a rise in subscription-based movie and television services. The owners are very thankful for everyone who has shown support over the past few years. UFO and Bigfoot explorer Ronnie LeBlanc visited the North Adams Public Library. LeBlanc visited North Adams to interact with fellow paranormal enthusiasts. He also showed parts of his show, Expedition Bigfoot, on Travel Channel, and discussed the research behind his book, Monsterland, Encounters with UFOs, Bigfoot, and Orange Orbs. The event was open to the public. Did you miss this year's Grammy Awards? Don't worry. BWN reporter Mamadou Diallo has the recap from the Grammys.
Hello, my name is Mamadou, here to recap what happened at this year's Grammys Awards. This year, Grammys were held on February 5th at the Crypto Arena in Los Angeles. This year was the 65th annual ceremony of the Grammys, and it was full of record-breaking, honoring former stars, drama over winners, and much more. During this Grammys, Beyoncé broke the record for the most Grammys won by a single artist. Beyoncé won 4 awards that night, which surpassed Hungarian-British musician Georg Solti's previous record, 31 Grammys by 1 Grammy. Pop singer Lizzo won the record of the year for her single About Damn Time. The winner for Album of the Year caused debate over on the internet, as the awards went to Harry Styles for his album Harry's House. Many people believe Beyoncé or Bad Bunny should have won the award instead of the former One Direction member. Also, Harry Styles' speech did not land well with the internet, as half thought he was expressing about white privilege, while the other half believed it was how far he came from his youth till now. There was also a special performance to honor the late rapper Takeoff, who was one of 2 members of the rap group called Migos. Quavo, the other half of the Migos, sang his song Without You, which was released just 2 months after Takeoff had passed. Even though the Grammys won't be back till next year, throughout the year there are more award shows. The next big award show is the Oscars, which will occur on March 12th at 8 p.m. on ABC. That is all the news on the Grammys. Back to you, Savannah.
On February 15th at 5:30 p.m., Eric Miller of York University will be hosting Capitalism in the Environment. GDP is gross. Well-being is better in room 121 of Feinbaum Center for Science and Innovation. The event is part of the Green Living Seminar Series and is hosted by Environmental Studies Department. Everybody is welcome. On February 18th and 19th at 2 p.m., Mass Mocha will be hosting a performance by Armando Guadalupe Cortez. This performance will take place at Cortez's installation Castillos and will explore masculine bravado and the relationships between men through the traditional sport of cockfighting. This performance will be free with museum admission. On February 1st, MCLA Athletics and SAC hosted Pride Night and Fan Appreciation Night. BWN reporter Isabel Beauchamp shoots to learn more about that night.
This past Wednesday, the MCLA Athletic Department hosted Pride Night during the men's basketball game and Fan Appreciation Night during the women's basketball game.
Every year, the MCLA Student Athlete Advisory Committee, also known as SAC, hosts a Pride Night which involves athletic events such as basketball games supporting the LGBTQ+ community. The MCLA softball coach and coordinator for the Student Athlete Development and SAC, Adrienne Baird, elaborates on the ideas of Pride Night.
I think, first and foremost, to put it as an official game for our athletics department. Athletics typically has a lot of social power on college campuses, and to say, all right, we're going to have a Pride Night, we are going to be visible, we're going to celebrate the LGBTQ+ community, is really powerful. To have, fans come, and at the entrance there were different buttons, there were different quotes from some famous LGBTQ+ athletes, and then, t-shirts that then fans can go and wear elsewhere. I think is really powerful to have that visibility and that support to show that we are an inclusive community.
The Gender and Sexuality Center and their student-led organization, the Queer Student Union, were facilitating Pride Night during the game. The MCLA women's volleyball coach, Amanda Beckwith, also the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Coordinator, was involved with supporting this event. After the men's team won against Fitchburg State, scoring 66-64, the women's game started at 7 p.m. SAC's Fan Appreciation Night kicked off alongside the basketball game, cheering on players from the bleachers. The women's basketball coach, David Bostic, illustrates the importance of their fans and how they affect both the basketball team's performance as well as his coaching performance.
Fans being in the stands is hugely important. I mean, especially since, we're coming off of a couple COVID years where we weren't allowed to have fans. And then, playing in front of an empty arena pretty much is just not the same as playing in an arena where there's people who are actually cheering for you. So I think that the fans, the actual, fans being in the stands actually kind of fuel, your desire to win. Those fans in the background, cheering you on. You not only want to win for yourself and your team, but you want to win for them. You want to give them something to cheer about and, to make sure that they're in the stands for the next game to, be just as loud and be just as proud of the school and what you're trying to do on the court.
With all the cheers from the sidelines, the MCLA Trailblazers won against the Fitchburg Falcons, scoring 66-53. Overall, the night was a success for MCLA, and we hope to see more events like this supporting individuals around campus. And until next time, this is Izzy Beauchamp with the BWN.
Now in athletics. On February 11th, the men's basketball team played against Salem State. Unfortunately, the Trailblazers fell short against the Salem Vikings 64-75. Noah Yearsley led the team with 31 points, with Amon Moore following behind, scoring 11 points in the match. The men's basketball team will have their final match on Saturday, February 18th. The Trailblazers will host their senior night against the Bridgewater State Bears. The match will begin at noon. The women's basketball team also played against Salem State on February 11th. The Trailblazers tried catching up but came up short by 10 points with a score of 50-60. Haley Peabody scored a career high of 20 points, while Christy Zatar scored 16 points during the match. The women's basketball team will have their final match on Saturday, February 18th. The Trailblazers will host their senior night against the Bridgewater State Bears. The match will begin at 2 p.m. As winter sports come to an end, spring sports are just around the corner. BWN reporter Owen Brown gives us a preview of this year's spring sports.
Hello, my name is Owen Brown, and this is your spring sports preview. After playing a scrimmage this Saturday on February 18th, the men's lacrosse team kicks off their regular season play on February 25th, playing at home as they take on the Mitchell College Mariners from New London, Connecticut. After finishing the season last year with a 4-9 record, the team looks to rebound with NAC Rookie of the Year winner Nate Haley, along with captains Nate Allen and Matt Ortiz. The team is looking for their first ever winning season in program history. After a week off, the team will continue on their season with upcoming games against the Regis College Lions, the Eastern Nazarene Lions, and the Mount St. Vincent College Dolphins. Women's lacrosse finished last season with a 1-11 record and begin with their first game of the year on March 9th as they travel to Aurora, New York and take on the Wells College Express, with their next game coming on March 22nd, playing at home against the Mitchell College Mariners. Led by team captain Skylin Hayes, key players Summer Nichols and Daniel Cole, along with new lacrosse players wanting to learn the game, athleticism, experience, and leadership will be key as they play out their season. Now over to the baseball diamond. Coming off an 11-27 record, begin their season with a doubleheader, traveling to New York City, where they take on the Yeshiva University Maccabees on February 26th. With reigning All-MASCAC second-team winner and captain Brandy Adams, along with captains Austin Richelli and Brian Rosario, the team looks to emphasize the family aspect and look to make a statement with a deep lineup and rotation. Finally, we turn over to softball, who are coming off a 5-30 record, beginning their play with their trip to Florida during spring break. They start off with a doubleheader against Finlandia University Lions out of Hancock, Michigan at 9, followed by the University of Wisconsin Superior Yellow Jackets at 1. Led by All-MASCAC second-team member and stolen pace record holder Maddie Tata, along with Sarah McMahon and a talented and deep freshman class, the team hopes with more depth they will stay 100% throughout the season and will look to win many games with health and rest being a main priority. And that was your spring sports preview. Back to you, Savannah.
The 57th Super Bowl occurred on Sunday, February 12th. It was a showdown between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes led the team to victory in the team's third Super Bowl win. The Berkshire Eagle recently held a survey of the best wings in Berkshire County. According to the survey, Ye Olde Forge in Lanesboro came in first. Sim's Tavern of Pittsfield came in second, and the Hangar Pub and Grill in Pittsfield placed third. So go check it out and dig into some wings. Do you like skiing or snowboarding? MCLA's ski club is hitting the slopes this semester, and BWN reporter Deni Rizvic gets the scoop on this year's ski club.
Why did you become president of the ski club?
I became president of the ski club because I love skiing and I like slash snowboarding. And I like, bringing that to new people, introducing new people to the sport that I love so much.
Phil, what got you into skiing?
So I basically grew up skiing because my dad's a ski instructor. That's his profession. And that's actually how my parents met. They were both ski instructors. So I've just been skiing since I could walk, essentially. Instead of like
Upcoming trips you have planned for the ski club?
Yeah, so this weekend, which the 11th, Saturday, we are going to Berkshire East, which is a smaller mountain about a half hour away. People going on the trip have the choice of like getting a free lesson, free.
What has been your favorite trip you've taken with ski club so far?
We went on a really cool trip to the American Dream Mall in New Jersey, which has an indoor ski hill, which was pretty neat because that's not something you typically would do indoors.
When does ski club meet here at MCLA and where?
We meet on either Wednesdays or Thursdays at 6:30 or 7:30, depending on the day. If you want to join ski club, you can email me directly. At my MCLA email you can just look it up on the Outlook, and I'll be more than happy to welcome you to the club.
Do you think you or someone is worthy of an award? Well, it's time to nominate people from the community for the MCLA DEI Awards. To nominate someone or yourself, use this link shown here. Voting ends on March 10th. On February 22nd at 6 p.m., Friel Library will be hosting a midterm study night. At this event, you can receive help and information from the Writing Studio, Trailblazer Tutor Center, and Math Drop-In Help. There will also be snacks, a raffle, and a visit from Maple. Less than 100 days until the class of 2023 graduates from MCLA. BWN reporter Sarah Tomczyk prepares with MCLA's Alumni Association for Commencement.
The countdown begins until the class of 2023 graduates from MCLA. I attended the 100 Days to Commencement event to explore the resources offered to seniors.
MCLA Alum Association hosted the event in the Friel Library and provided many resources, such as headshots taken by a professional photographer, information about future events, snacks, and more. Josh Mendel, Director of Corporate Engagement and Strategic Partnerships, elaborates more about an event coming up called the Networking Social.
On February 16th, during the free period from noon to 1 o'clock, Murdoch 218, we have a networking social. And this is an opportunity for local Berkshire County businesses to promote summer jobs, internships, part-time positions, and even full-time jobs to our students.
MCLA's President Burge visited the event. While appearing, he opens up about how the event helps students prepare for graduation and their futures.
I think the last 100 days is just it's a great period of time. It goes so quickly, right? But lots of really great things happen. Students start thinking about what their career path is going to be, making sure they get their resume done, making sure that they're registered for graduation. So it's a busy time for sure, but it's also really exciting as we think about what's the next chapter for students in their lives. So I love this stuff.
As students register for graduation, they can also choose what their class gift will be. Ian Crombie, treasurer of the Class of 2023 Council, presents the possibilities for the class gift.
We have many options. We have a swing set, we have picnic tables, we have signage, or we have another option if you have other requests. But right now it looks like the swing set's winning.
Doreen Clement, the new Associate Director of the Alum Engagement, shares her hopes for what students get out of this event.
I hope that they will see that the school is working together to get all of this valuable information to them and make it as easy for them as they can with the one-stop shopping, and they can start to hear the word alumni and become familiar with it, and hopefully remain active when they do graduate and become mine in 100 days.
For more information about commencement, you can scan this QR code shown here.
That's all the news about the class of 2023's commencement. Till graduation, I'm Sarah Tomczyk from Beacon Web News. Back to you, Savannah.
On February 18th at 8 p.m., electronic music producer Jim and multidisciplinary artist Florence Toe will review their collaborative project Acoma at MassMoCa's Hunter Center. Acoma, a symbolic presence of heart and drum, is an exciting concert/installation that will maintain a balance similar to how human bodies raise questions about which rhythms we want to keep hidden. Advance tickets are $32 and $42 a day, and the performance is general admission seating. 28-year-old rapper and singer Ivy Soul will be performing at MassMoCa's Club B10 on February 25th at 8 p.m. Soul's music is sultry and soulful, drawing on a variety of influences. Advance tickets are $22 and $32 day of, and the performance is general admission seating. The theater department is back in business. BWN reporter Em Marlay-Wright gets a preview of the theater department's upcoming spring production.
So, one of the questions I had for you was, for starters, what is the play that's going on?
So we're doing a full production of Urinetown, the musical.
Repeat that name again?
Urinetown, the musical. It's an interesting title, but
okay. So what's it about?
So it's about a town that makes people pay to use the bathroom. So there's a really big water shortage, and basically the use of water, especially to use the bathroom, has been monopolized by a big corporation. And the first part of the show is about how the citizens of this town are pretty much supposed to represent the working class or the poor class, how they sort of maneuver having to pay to use the bathroom, or in some cases end up having to go for free, and see what the consequences for doing that are. And in the second half of the show, the poor, I don't want to spoil too much, but the poor ends up staging sort of a rebellion by taking the daughter of the CEO of this corporation hostage, and we see what Urinetown really is.
Wow. Okay. I don't know what I was expecting, but that was not it. So why did they choose this particular play?
Well, one of the main reasons that our director, Laura Stanley, told me about was it's a reality that is seemingly not too far from what today's future reality could be, because of all these big corporations and the fact that they're trying to just sort of gain as much territory as possible over the market, monopolizing things that people need to survive, such as water, food, and I think part of the reason that we're doing this show is because to sort of as a wake-up call, that if something doesn't change, we could end up having to deal with the same things that the characters in Urinetown do.
So what do you think people would take from the show?
Well, there are a lot of really subtle things in the show that are takeaways, while it's pretty much a comedy. And Well, one of the things that I personally have taken away from what we've done of the show so far is that if people's rights to take care of themselves and do what they need to do to survive are challenged or taken away, then well, for starters, they won't be happy about it, and
to honor the veterans of our country, the Veterans of Foreign Wars Department of Massachusetts Auxiliary hosts meetings on the fourth Sundays in North Adams at Post 996 at 1 p.m. The VFW Auxiliary consists of members who are relatives of veterans who served in a location of foreign conflict. The VFW Auxiliary is one of the nation's oldest service organizations for veterans. On Monday, February 27, 2023, Executive Editor of the Boston Herald newspaper and Massachusetts College of Liberal Arts alum, Joe Dwindle, will be lecturing in the CSI atrium. Dwindle, who obtained a master's degree in journalism from Boston University, will discuss topics regarding journalistic approaches for students at MCLA. The English department hosted a senior writing contest at the beginning of the month. I discovered the two winners of the contest and the special guest judge. Thursday, February 2nd, the English department hosted the literary reading featuring Rage Hezekiah. I got the read on this year's judge and winners. Senior contest winner Liza Marsala and Hannah Yeasley presented poems that explored their personal experiences. Rage Hezekiah, published poet, was this year's judge of the contest. Rage comments on what led her to choose this year's winners.
Reading their work, something that really struck me was the directness of their language. Liza read, I believe, one of the lines that she wrote was, "Hand soap makes me want to kill myself," like that kind of just saying the thing, I thought was brilliant. One of the senior writing contest winners, Liza Marsala, speaks about what influences her when she writes.
Taking my experiences and finding a way to process them.
Lucian Thomas Vickery, who attended the event, shares his thoughts on how the poetry reading affected him.
I zoned out in a good way. It really affected me in a way I didn't expect. And I don't know. I've never felt that way before.
The event was packed and the poets were well received with applause and snaps. And with that, the poem comes to a close for Beacon Web News. I'm Savanna Amaral. The Clark Art Institute will host the first ever exhibition of the National Library of France's 18th century French drawings until the 12th of March. These fascinating works of art consist of natural history, theater design, landscape, current events, and portraiture, featuring the work of acclaimed artists such as François Bouchard and Gabriel de Saint-Ambon. The exhibition will transport the audience into the world of 18th century France. The temperature has been all over the place this winter. BWN reporter Angelina Clark shares what's coming up during this week's weather.
Hello, my name is Angelina Clark, and this is your weather update. The weather will be pretty consistent this week, starting out warm but getting a little bit colder by the end of the week. Today will bring us a high of 55 and a low of 45. Expect some light showers in the late afternoon and some heavier showers in the evening. Friday will be the coldest day of the week with a high of 48 and a low of 11. Make sure to grab a jacket because there will be a mix of snow and rain in the afternoon. Unlike Friday, Saturday will be a pleasant, clear day, bringing us a sunny sky and a high of 33 with a low of 27. Sunday will also lift our spirits, bringing us a welcome high of 45 and a low of 34, along with some cloudy skies, especially in the evening. Monday is even warmer with a high of 47 and a low of 39, but you may need to bring out that umbrella from your closet. Expect some occasional rain showers from the morning through the night. Tuesday also will have some rain showers, along with snow showers with a comfortable high of 50 and a low of 36. The snow and rain showers will continue into the night. The temperature will drop on Wednesday. It'll be a high of 43 and a low of 27. Expect even more snow and rain showers with up to 3 inches of snow expected in the night. Finally, Thursday the 23rd will see a high of 33 and a low of 19. It will be cloudy with snow showers into the night. You can once again expect up to 3 inches of snow. For BWN, I'm Angelina Clark. Back to you, Savannah.
Southern rock band Molly Hatchet will be performing in Dalton, Mass. Visit the Stationery Factory on March 18th at 7:30 for a night of great music. North Adams welcomes McKenna Berzamati's Mrs. Roxy's Barkery to help shine a new light on the ingredients in dog treats. Located at 60 Roberts, Dr. Suite 107, North Adams, Brizamachi's store aims to help owners who struggle to find healthy treats for those whose pets struggle with allergies and food sensitivities. Interested in learning more about political science? Well, we have the club just for you. BWN reporter Em Marlay-Wright discovers more about the Political Science Club.
Yep, I'm Casey, young and senior.
All right. And then just to begin this, how long have you been involved in the Political Science Club, and what's it like being president?
So I joined Poli-Sci Club my sophomore year, and I ended up joining because my roommate Jack, who was kind of talks a lot during the meetings, convinced us all to join, and me and my housemates.
Okay.
And then I was actually elected secretary like the second or third week of me being in the club because there was super low enrollment. I think we had maybe 3 or 4 members, like including the e-board, so it was really small. And then I was elected president after my sophomore year, and then I've held the position ever since. Basically what Model UN is, it's kind of like D&D, but like with politics, but also like not politics. It's just like huge debates, and like it's a lot of nerds, like everyone that we all love Model UN. Like if you like Model UN, it's like a whole thing in itself. And you learn parliamentary procedure and Robert's rules. So we only attended one conference for this academic year, but I said in the meeting that we're planning to do 4 next year.
Yeah, I wrote that down. That's interesting. That
Yeah,
seems like a lot.
it is a lot, but the thing is, our Model UN club tries to meet a few times a month to kind of do mock simulations in preparation, just so like we can keep up with like what we need to do. It's really big in other schools, and we have a lot of interest from the underclassmen that want to get into it, so we're trying to expand it. So what will happen is we'll probably attend a conference in like early October-ish, and we'll attend one in late November. And then in the spring, we'll try to plan it to where there'll be a winter one, and maybe one in March. So we have to expand our SGA budget because they're very expensive. So we requested quite a bit of money, but we have 8 to 10 people that are part of just Model UN in itself that sometimes come to the club meetings. They have to come to the club meetings at least 3 times throughout the semester, but a lot of them will go to just Model UN to do the practice and the training and then go to the conferences.
Okay. What would you say to people who are thinking of joining this club?
Definitely just come to a meeting. A lot of people won't expect what it's going to be like. Because some weeks, again, we talk about the most random stuff like half the time, and we'll go on long tangents, and everyone really enjoys it.
Yeah.
It can be comical, it can be serious, but I always just say, like, regardless of your political ideology, your beliefs, like, we do allow anything to be brought up in these meetings. I mean, to a certain extent, like, we don't want you hurting someone's feelings. But yeah, no, I always just say, just come to a meeting. You can talk to myself or any of the other e-board members, but most of the time we're really friendly, and we love having new people come to meetings, especially if they're outside the department. Because it's the same people that come to stuff, so we've been recruiting some communication majors, and have a couple history majors that come, so.
Cool. All right, and that's basically it for the main questions. Is there anything else you just want to add that we didn't talk about?
No, that was enough advertising, I think. No, I just love getting new members in the club, and I just want the club to continue to thrive after I leave, so that's kind of my goal this past year, is just really trying to market and make sure that everyone knows about the club.
Yeah, for sure. All right, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it.
For more stories, check out the Beacon's new website, theonlinebeacon.com. That was this week's episode of Beacon Web News. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at mclabeacon.news and subscribe to our YouTube channel at MCLA Beacon. This is Savanna Amaral. Thank you for tuning in, and see you next episode.